Welcome to Wealth, Wisdom, and Insights. Today we're exploring a book that has the power to shift your entire perspective on life, The Four Agreements by Don Miguel Ruiz. This book, based on ancient Toltec wisdom, offers a simple yet powerful guide for personal freedom, peace, and happiness. The agreements may seem basic at first glance, but their depth comes from their profound simplicity, and their true power lies in consistent practice. Ruiz lays out four guiding principles that, if followed, will free you from unnecessary suffering, help you break limiting beliefs, and lead you to a life of peace and purpose. Let's explore each agreement in detail, along with examples and actionable steps you can take to incorporate them into your daily life. The first agreement: be impeccable with your word. The word impeccable comes from the Latin peccatus, meaning sin. Impeccable means without sin. So to be impeccable with your word is to speak in alignment with your highest self and integrity, without causing harm to others or yourself. Your word is your most powerful tool for creation. Imagine a teacher who tells a child that they're not good at math. That simple comment, seemingly insignificant to the teacher, can stick with the child for years. The child may grow up believing they're bad at math and shy away from opportunities related to numbers or science. This single word has the power to shape the child's self-identity. Similarly, when we criticize ourselves, saying things like, "I'm not good enough," or "I'll never succeed," we set limitations on our own potential. Ruiz explains, your word is the power that you have to create. It is a gift that comes directly from God. What you say, both out loud and in your mind, shapes your reality. By being impeccable with your word, you create a life filled with honesty, kindness, and integrity. Start by paying attention to your daily conversations. Do you often speak negatively about yourself or others? Challenge yourself to speak with intention and love. When you catch yourself saying something unkind, either internally or externally, stop and rephrase it. For example, if you think, "I always mess things up," change it to, "I'm learning and growing with each experience." The second agreement: don't take anything personally. And this one can be life-changing. Ruiz teaches us that nothing others do is because of us. It's based on their own beliefs, experiences, and emotional state. When we take things personally, we make everything about ourselves, leading to unnecessary pain and suffering. Let's say someone criticizes your work in a harsh tone. Your first reaction might be to feel hurt or angry, thinking, "Why do they dislike me?" But when you understand that their behavior stems from their own experiences, you see that their words aren't about you, they're about them. They might be having a bad day or feeling insecure, and that's why they lashed out. Ruiz says, whatever happens around you, don't take it personally. Even if someone insults you directly, it has nothing to do with you. What they say, what they do, and the opinions they give are according to the agreements they have in their own minds. The next time someone says or does something that triggers you, pause. Ask yourself, is this really about me, or is it about them? Create a mental buffer between your emotions and their words. This mindset shift gives you emotional freedom because you're no longer letting other people's actions control how you feel about yourself. The third agreement: don't make assumptions. Is something we all do but rarely recognize. We assume we know what others are thinking, why they act the way they do, or what their motives are. And often, those assumptions are wrong, leading to misunderstandings, conflict, and frustration. Let's say you're waiting for a friend to reply to your message, and hours go by without a response. You might assume, "They're ignoring me," or "I must have done something to upset them." These assumptions create unnecessary anxiety and stress. In reality, your friend could simply be busy or dealing with something unrelated to you. Making assumptions often leads to emotional suffering because we're inventing problems that don't exist. Ruiz advises, the problem with making assumptions is that we believe they are the truth. We make assumptions about what others are doing or thinking. We take it personally. Then we blame them and react by sending emotional poison with our word. By assuming, we end up creating false realities in our minds. Whenever you catch yourself making assumptions, practice clear communication. Instead of assuming someone's intentions or feelings, ask questions. For example, "I noticed you've been quiet. Is everything okay?" Or, "I didn't quite understand what you meant. Could you clarify?" This practice helps avoid misunderstandings and promotes healthier, more open relationships. The fourth agreement, always do your best. This is the glue that holds all the other agreements together. Your best changes from day to day depending on your energy, mood, and circumstances, but it's always about giving the most you can in the present moment. Imagine you've set a goal to exercise daily, and one day you feel energized and run 5 miles. The next day, you're exhausted and can barely walk a mile. If you judge yourself for not doing the same as the previous day, you're not honoring the essence of this agreement. Doing your best doesn't mean perfection. It means recognizing your limits and giving what you can in that moment without self-judgment. Ruiz emphasizes, under any circumstance, always do your best, no more and no less. But keep in mind that your best is never going to be the same from one moment to the next. At the end of each day, reflect on your efforts. Ask yourself, did I do my best given the circumstances? If the answer is yes, celebrate that. If not, think about what might have held you back and try again tomorrow, but without judgment or guilt. This approach brings a sense of peace and self-compassion into your life. Freedom through the 4 agreements. The 4 agreements are like a map for personal freedom. When you adopt them into your life, you free yourself from unnecessary suffering. You stop being a victim of other people's opinions, stop creating false realities in your mind, and begin living with honesty and integrity. The agreements help you clear away the mental clutter and social conditioning that often hold us back from living a life of true happiness. Ruiz teaches us that these agreements are simple, but they are not easy. They require practice, patience, and awareness. But the reward is immense: emotional peace, healthier relationships, and a life grounded in truth and love. As you apply these agreements, you'll begin to feel the weight of stress, fear, and anxiety lift from your shoulders. You'll become more resilient, more centered, and more capable of handling life's challenges. So, which agreement resonates with you the most? Is it the power of your word, learning not to take things personally, avoiding assumptions, or doing your best? Whichever one speaks to you, start practicing it today. Even small steps can lead to big changes. Remember, living by these agreements is not about being perfect. It's about making a commitment to grow, to show up with integrity, and to be kind to yourself along the way. The journey may be challenging, but the peace and freedom you gain are worth it.